hear me. We're trying. I think. Okay, hi everybody. It looks like we're streaming, so just give me one sec. We are in the middle of figuring this out. It says we're streaming. Oh, unlisted. Public. There we go. I think we might have it. Hello, everybody. Oh, we're live! Okay, awesome. That was a little nerve-wracking for a moment or two. Okay. And we're live, so I'm going to hand the laptop back to Panda, who's just over there. And we'll give everybody a second or two to get into the chat, since thanks for bearing with us. This is our first official live stream on YouTube, so we had a few minor bugs to work out, but hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun and super interesting, and I cannot wait to tell you guys about CosClay. I have oh and now we have an echo. There's Panda. Say hello, Panda.
Hello, Panda.
So I am very excited. I've been playing with this stuff all afternoon, and I am just vibrating. There are so many cool things. Wait till you see what this stuff can do.
Demonio says hello.
Pardon?
Demonio says hello.
Ooh. So hello everyone in the chat. Panda's going to be monitoring the chat. Feel free to please ask questions, actually, because the way I sort of set this up is I've been playing around, and I'm going to show you guys what I've been up to, but I want to test out stuff that you guys want to know. So I'm sort of the guinea pig, your guinea pig by proxy. So if you have any questions, if you think of something, I've got a bunch of different stuff here. We've got the oven ready in the background. I've got some raw CosClay, some baked CosClay. We can try out a whole bunch of different things. We will also be giving away prizes later. So we've made up some variety packs of CosClay, and we will be doing a question later. And in order to make it fair for everybody, because of differences in YouTube or internet speeds and so forth, when the question comes, the trivia question comes up, put your answer in the chat. Panda's going to write them all down, and we will do a draw at the end. So, you know, technically you can cheat all you want, but we're going to have a draw. As long as everybody who gives the correct answer in the chat will be entered into the draw for some CosClay variety packs. So, yeah, so this is CosClay. This is the deco. There's a whole bunch of different types, and we'll talk about those. Now, I have to start out with an apology to the makers of CosClay, because we got some. I had been seeing this all over the Shiflet Brothers Facebook sculpting forum and a bunch of other places, and it looked amazing. And I sat down, well, we got some to carry. I opened up the first box and pulled out it and started to play with it. And there's actually some Sculpey hard that I used to have, and I did not bake it right at all. So I was initially disappointed, because I saw all this cool stuff with people sculpting hands on fairies and things, and all the fingers are bending, and it was just blowing my mind. And then I tried some, and this was kind of what happened. So we got, yeah, see a little bit of flex, more than a traditional, but it still broke. And where's some other pieces here? Yeah, here's some more, and you know, you got a little bit of flex, but all pieces were still breaking. Flat piece. So oh, get a, that's what's happening. So I went back to the board, a bunch of research, read through all the threads and on their website, and the answer is, whoa, just knocked a tool over. The answer is this guy. The trick to getting CosClay to do amazing things is make sure your oven's at the right temperature. Because your oven is probably lying to you. They tell horrible lies. So we happen to have this thermometer. We don't have one. Buy one. They're not expensive. It was like $15. So yeah, get some way of testing your oven temperature. So I'm going to show you why. We're going to go on a little. Hold on, everybody. And here we're going over to. So this is our handy dandy little convection oven. I love this. I love this oven. We've cured much silicone in here, but I'm going to show you why you need this. We're going to turn it on, pull the trigger, put it to Fahrenheit, because the box, all the temperatures on the box are in Fahrenheit. According to the box, CosClay, it should be at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes for every 1/4 inch of clay. The temperature there way above 275. We're active. 301, 285, 284. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit to 325. I had to do this earlier and basically get everything nice and hot and then turn it back a bit. So while we're talking some more, I'm going to turn that down, flip things back around. So while I'm going to down and let it come into that sort of 275 realm, and we will test it a little bit later. I'm just turning the gun off. You will notice that I have a in there. Leave it in there, let it get nice and warm. Okay. So, some cool stuff. So these are things that I was baking earlier. So here's a snake that, this is the Sculpt medium. And this is a 1/4 inch. And watch this. I tried to, the first couple times I baked something out of CosClay, and I went to test the flex. I was like, ginger, because I now, so, but look at that. So this was in the oven earlier today for about half an hour, and look how super flexible that is. Isn't that cool? I'm so excited. Now, things get even better. So what is a 1/4 inch? Half the box says. A bunch of progressive. They are equally. This is going to blow your mind. Look at this.
Yeah, so everyone's having a hard time with the audio.
Oh, okay. Apparently everyone's We're having some audio issues.
Following along on my phone using my data, so we're not using double the bandwidth.
Okay. So we're try a couple things. I hear about that. We're gonna try some things and hopefully get that fixed. So once I start sounding okay, just let us know, and then I will continue. But like, look at that! I tied it in a knot, and this is baked. This has been baked. How are we doing? Thanks for bearing with us, folks. As I said, it's our first time sort of live streaming to YouTube. I've done a few on Facebook before, but this is the first we've tried to our YouTube channel, so we've definitely got some growing pains. Hopefully, this is something that we'll continue doing. Moving. So the more we do them, and the more we'll be able to things. Is it better on your end?
Well, I'm using my cell data, so
yes, but
it's people are saying it's working better.
Okay, awesome. So I will attempt to continue. If we break up again, I'm really sorry. But if we break up a lot, maybe we'll do another one. Maybe we'll put it over on Facebook Live another time or something. And we'll just keep experimenting until we find the best streaming platform. So look at that. Look at that. I tied it in a knot. So these are all baked. Like, this is blowing my mind. You could never do that in a million years with polymer clay. Like, this one's even skinnier. This one was in the oven for 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes. I set a timer and took it out after 2 minutes. There. So it did break, but you saw how much, like, I gotta work at this to... Well, this one is pretty thin. Let's try with the bigger guy. Okay. Like, if you weren't actively trying to break it, that would be pretty cool. The other thing you can do, so these ones are so this was the Sculpt soft. The main difference apparently is the softness while you're sculpting. Once they're baked, there's not, it's the medium is no more flexible or less flexible than the soft. It's more the texture while you are working with it. So this is just CosClay. There's nothing in here. This is CosClay with wire in the middle. So now you have something that's fully posable. Like, isn't that neat? Isn't that neat? Oh, and I want to show you, we kept this scrap earlier. So this is one of our tiny little... So watch, I'm going to bend this completely in half. Boy. Like again. So yeah, so now you have something that's fully flexible. And we've got some other ones. Now here's an important tip. If you're putting wire inside of things, inside of the CosClay, is it has to be thick, strong. The CosClay has a natural elasticity to baked in. So if you put wire inside, it has to be a thick enough gauged wire. So this is the stuff I used in this one. And I tried this gauge yeah. And it's not bouncing back as quickly the other one, but it is fighting the elasticity of the memory and the elasticity of the CosClay. So you can put yeah, you're gonna it is holding its shape, but it's fighting, the clay's fighting against it. So these are all sausages. Now I want to show you guys. I'm just gonna clear the way here.
Demonia is saying is perfect for stop motion animation.
Yes, yes, there are definitely stop motion applications. So then I wanted to try some flat skinny pieces. So this is 6 mil. I just rolled it out to 6 mil and baked it this 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and see, it's still nice and flexible. Then I used the pasta machine because it's a very popular polymer clay tool on 7, which is the thickest setting. Like, yeah, it's breaking, but it's breaking because that was where I had stitched or scratched a word into it. You can see there's strain marks if you bend it completely double, but if you just flex it, you're doing okay. So this is 3 mil. It's the 6 that's 6 on the pasta machine. 2 mil, 5 on the pasta machine. And 4, 1 pasta machine. And we've got a couple stress marks, but it's breaking where I had scratched the numbers in. So this is pretty darn cool. So I'm going to flip this now, and we'll do some more. I'll show you guys how it what it's like while it's soft. We'll do some experiments, and again, any questions, any things that come up that you'd like me to try, just give a shout out in, and Panda will let me know. Okay. Tighten that up a little bit. Okay. There we go. Let's move the wire out here. So this is some, here's CosClay medium, 2 shades of gray and 2 consistencies, soft and medium. Then there is a doll line that are all different skin tones. So this one happens to be darker skin tones. And then there is in sort of a purple, red, yellow, and orange, and then black and white. So you can see when you first just cut a chunk off raw out of the box, it's pretty crumbly. But this stuff, even the medium, like this is the medium, and it's still so much easier to condition than a traditional polymer clay. Even the medium is pretty soft. I know what that warning is now. I'm going to plug. Is pretty.
Sandra's saying we're breaking
Something here, quick. Fix the screen. Here, how about some light? So hopefully a bit. I know it's you guys are having a little bit of difficulty. It's probably so on the website they recommend chopping this up, throwing it in the food processor or something to sort of condition it. I don't think that's necessarily, unless you already have a polymer clay food processor, I wouldn't bother because this stuff is pretty soft. Buttery is the way I would describe it. It's pretty squishy. That even the medium, sticky but not way, and you know, almost by the time your fingers are warmed up, the clay is pretty much ready to go. I'm just going to combine these two. Put so now we've got our, just roll us a bit of a sausage. Now one of the Facebook groups I was asking for questions on was asking, will it attach? I mean, we can try. I've got some different blocks here. These are all 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. I measured them because, so unlike a lot of polymer clays, the CosClay has no shrinkage. No shrink, and you can also take it immediately out of the oven. A lot of other polymer clays, and you hit your 30 minutes or whatever per quarter inch, and then they recommend you turn the oven off, step away, leave everything to cool, and then once it's cooled down to room temperature, you can pull everything out, and that's to prevent your clay from cracking. You don't have to do that with this one, with the CosClay.
Cassandra has a question. Do you know what gauge of wire you were using from earlier?
What gauge of wire I was using from earlier? I do not. I've had this really long time. This looks like maybe a 16. Yeah, that looks like a 16. It's the smaller the numbers, the thicker the wire, right?
Yes.
Yes. So this is, I would say this is a 16 or an 18. You can, I did 2 tests. So I did 2 of each. This is the 16, and then I wrapped a much finer gauge, like this is a 26. I think this is a 26 gauge. Much thinner wire around to give you some traction for the clay onto. Like, do I have a piece? So you would just CosClay over bare. Find it kind of slides around. 2 of each of these, one without. So the ones without haven't I wanted to see if they would break earlier or not. Haven't, but they were definitely harder to clay on than the ones that I wrapped. So, oh yes, so someone, will this stick to? I think the thing with this is the CosClay might not shrink or expand, or it stays the same size that it is in the oven, but the foam's not going to, I don't think, because the whole thing with EVA foam is you can score it, hit it with heat, and it will expand. You can do all sorts of, you can heat seal it, you can do all sorts of cool tricks with the fact that the foam will react to heat. So my thinking is, even if this sticks and bakes, the clay bakes okay, your foam piece, the other thing is if you're trying to put it over, you know, sort of bake all, you do it all together, you got to get your entire foam piece into the oven. So if you have a big, you can do it with your kitchen oven, but whether that's a good idea or not, we're going to see. Now it's sticking fine. It's you know, and this is the smooth side. And I'm sure if I squish it down, but I how the clay or how the foam's going to react. I happen to have some Warbler right here so that we can test that very question. Ta-da! So I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to give it to Panda to put in the oven, and let's test some Warbler. So let's cut a scrap piece of Warbler here. Because the other thing that occurred to me with the foam is you can probably bake your pieces and then glue them to your foam after. I don't see any reason why hot glue would not, or crazy glue would not get a baked piece of this to stick to EVA foam. But as far as sticking it on unbaked and baking it to foam, my guess is no. So let's take stuff out of the way. Why don't we, since it's the 4mm guy, and let's heat up our Warbler. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So we'll press that down. Seems to be sticking. It's almost sticking too well. Hey guys, come on. Well, it's sticking, actually it's sticking pretty darn good. That is on there. Let's leave this to cool down and see. I also have some Thebra. Let's test it with the Thebra. Although if it worked with the Warbler, I imagine actually the Thebra may or may not work. Warbler likes to stick to foam, Thebra doesn't, so it may not like to stick to clay. So let's use the other half of our 4 mil piece. Zebra's nice and soft. Come on, buddy. Left more thieves. We'll clean the rest off later. So we'll set that aside to cool down. Another question that comes up is sanding. So the website suggests wet dry sandpaper. Some water, please. Panda's just going to grab me some water. So it says you can still Dremel them and sand the pieces, but to use a wet dry, it recommends a wet sanding because of the rubberiness of the CosClay. So that totally makes sense to me. So we're just going to take our 6 mil piece here, and this is I mean, it's pretty rough. I didn't do any particular smoothing to it when I baked it in the oven. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's an air bubble in there. So let's just sand part of it and see what we can see. So these are... We're just going to do half. So while I'm giving it a little bit of a sand, I will give you guys the question. So we're going to play for the one variety pack. So you, as it is our inaugural stream, we'll play for the variety pack. So this is your 8 box of crayons. And pandas are standing by. So in the chat, if you know or can find the answer to this question, put it in the chat before 7 o'clock, and when we end the stream, and you will be put into the draw for the variety pack of CosClay deco art. So the question is, CosClay is actually released by a company that's been around for a while, and they make another really well-known clay for sculpting. So we will that oil-based clay that is really well known. So CosClay's got a degree as a big older or the name of the that older sibling clay. And I'm just going to sneak Panda B.
Wait, what?
Answers. I'm gonna give you these.
Oh.
I need a pen. So that he knows when you all put the correct answer. Oh, you can't see. Haha. I'm passing him the answers now. Okay.
I knew it.
Backed one. I'm not sure what grit that is though, but we will try an even finer grit. Not getting any weird fuzzies though, so that's good. It's going to be hard for you guys to see, but I can definitely feel that there is a difference. I mean, I know with traditional polymer clay, if you...
I'm also writing the question out in the thing because some people had a hard time hearing.
Oh, okay. So Panda's writing out the trivia question in the chat. So if you didn't have it, if you weren't able to hear me properly, you can get it from there. And anytime between now and 7 o'clock when we'll do the draw, just write the answer in the chat and you will be entered into the draw for the variety pack. So the warble is nice and dry now. Cool, rather. Let's see. Focus. That is... Okay, if I can get an edge under, I can peel them apart. But it takes a lot of work. I would say we are... Yeah, see, the clay stuck before, or the clay broke before the warble came unstuck. So I managed to get an edge up. It is nice and firm. Thebra. The Thebra, oh, there we go. It's also pretty, well, stuck. So, not, actually, it broke off a piece of the clay there. So, I'd say adding either one to the other is pretty good. They're gonna, unless you're really, really, really rough with them, they're going to stick. They're going to stick well. How are we for questions? There's one question.
Oh, sorry. We had one answer for the thing.
Oh.
No questions.
no current question. You want to go grab the piece? We're going to test that foam question, and Tony's going to grab the other piece of foam for me. So we'll see how that turned out. I still can't believe to tie that into a knot. This one even more so. Like, this is just blowing my mind. I had so many, like, I remember one time I did a beautiful crown. It was years before any of that stuff was available.
Nope.
Question, will it... This is still quite hot. Unbaked clay to foam, not going to work. And I didn't quite imagine it, because you're going to get the shrinkage of... You're going to get shrinkage from the of the foam, and it's probably going to peel away from the clay. So let's let that cool down, and what we can do is try gluing it to...
And Cassandra has another question.
Yes, Cassandra.
She is curious about the flexibility with acrylic paint on top.
Ah, yes, I knew there was something else I was... Tony's gonna grab me. Of course, somebody's on brand. He picked the blue one. Oh, there we go. Measuring cup. He picked the blue one. Okay. So this is our 2 ml sample. Why don't we do one of our snakes as well? I mean, it paints decently, that's for sure.
We got 4 answers so far.
4 answers so far. That's cool. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Certainly, we're up to any critiques, and if folks are really interested, we can always do a follow-up. Yes, you know, give it a think. Give yourself some time to mull on the pot and test out some more stuff, because I definitely know I'm going to be playing with this a lot more. Okay. I mean, this isn't high quality craft paint, it's just good old deco art, but we'll see what... We'll give those a second to dry. And we'll see what happens.
Demonio's saying they love the stream and asking could we please make a tutorial experiment video on this.
Yes, I think this will, you know, obviously if people have, well, you're all here, you're listening to this, but if you know anybody who's missed it, it will stay on YouTube. I actually had recorded a bunch when I was playing around with this. I have no idea where the file went. Onto the computer and while looking for the files, nowhere to be found. I have no idea where it went. If everything shakes for a second, it is simply because I am reaching for some glue, because I want to test gluing these guys together. This is... Oh. Panda's gone to get me glue. It's good having a panda around. It's very good. Do we have a quick guy? Thank you. Okay, there's an accelerator. Oh, this stuff will work, I think. Better bond.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. He's definitely be done in 5 minutes. So let's try taking some 5-minute epoxy and glue these two down, and we'll see what happens. While our painted pieces dry, I should probably have gloves on. Boink. but we just need a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Try glue number 2. Let's try a different one. That noise is me rummaging in my big huge box of of adhesives here, trying to find one that's gonna work. Is this the fast one or is it slow? Clear and fast. Let's try this guy instead. Okay. Because I could not get the epoxy open.
We have another question first question from another new person, from MoonRabbit42. If you're doing a thick piece, can you bake low and slow with Sculpey, or will not have the same strength and flexibility as if you follow the directions?
I have not tried that yet, but what I do know is what they recommend on the site, and one of the videos I was watching today, getting more tips, is you bake so obviously it's not cured yet. You can mush it, you can flex it, you can do whatever you want with it while it's raw. Baked, and I want to be able to set it properly. So the one tip that there was a lot of this on was you can bake clay, add more, bake it, add more details on something, or so forth. You can build up layers, but flex your piece until you are entirely done baking it. So if I sculpt this in this position with, this one has an armature inside, but so if I sculpt this in this position and then I want to add and I bake it, and then I want to add more clay to it, and I bake this again, I cannot flex it before I've baked this addition, because apparently what that does is create stress marks, and essentially what will happen is this. Now this isn't that exact case. This was, I tried baking it with a pipe cleaner inside, and I baked it for the proper amount of time, but I think the pipe cleaner was too close to the edge in some cases. It didn't end up right in the middle. But basically, if you sculpt a piece, bake it, flex it, and bake it again, you're going to end up with it's re-soften and then potentially break at those stress points. That's what they were. That I've seen that pop up multiple times. So as long as you leave it in the original position, you can add on to it as much as you want and bake it that way. And then once you're completely done, you can flex it and move it however you want. But don't bake it again after you've flexed it. And then of course there is I didn't have time to finish her, but another putting down both on weight and thickness of the your piece is to put a armature or a aluminum foil core in something. This is going to be Kaylee, our little mascot, but I didn't get enough done that we could start adding polymer clay to her before the stream. So it's almost 7 o'clock, so why don't we see how our paint turned out? Our paint on our thing. Oh, 8 o'clock, sorry, yes. Doesn't look like the glue is set, so that might be a follow-up for another day. But we'll check out how our paint jobs did, and then we will go to the draw. So, here's dry. Let's see. Ooh. I'm not seeing a lot of paint cracking right now. Good. I mean, if I kept flexing it back and forth. Let's try this. Let's really see if I can crack this. We're not getting any. Oh, there. Okay, so I had to bend it double and then double again, and actually the clay's cracking. It's less the paint and more the clay. I am also very like this is totally a game changer. My head is just Tony's not going to see me for a week because I'm just going to be down here building things. Yeah, like even with this thick. Oh, that's clay, that's not paint, but yeah, like it's holding up really well. And I'm sure that, I mean, one other thing to test would be something like a Flex Bond, even. I mean, the regular paint on its own is holding up, but a Flex Bond, which is a flexible primer, a foam primer, and so forth, it either with acrylic over top of it or so forth, this stuff's really good. That's why people like to use it for foam and Warbler. But this would be interesting to do a test with as well.
Demonio is saying that they bet this clay would work well with flat effects.
Yes. But yeah. Seeing this is just the plain gray clay you want, and then of course it can so you can mix most of your colors with the clay itself and then use paint for highlights or dry brushing or whatever. As I said, there's also doll colors. There's a flesh tone. We might save these for another prize for another contest. And there's the sculpt and the soft and the medium. So options. Right now, everything comes in a, and Canadian is what, 21 or 22
for what?
To buy it.
$21.
$21 Canadian plus tax, of course. But yeah, no, like this is so exciting. So it's 8 o'clock now. We're going to do I want to thank you all for coming so much. And yeah, like tag us, tag CosClay, if you start to play with this, because it's just I can see the possibilities are endless. Like I was saying to Tony, all the things you weren't supposed to do, like you were never supposed to put
Demonia has another question.
Oh, yes. One more question before we do the draw.
Can you mix the color?
Yes, yes. It is a typical polymer clay. You can absolutely mix the colors. Yes, and you can do things like Skinner blends, so you can actually do gradients and stuff, putting two colors together. So it's only 4 flesh tones right now. Mix and match the flesh tones together. Yes, you can absolutely. So we're going to
do it right on air.
And these are CosClay is Monster Makers, and they are the makers of Monster Clay. So I'm going to draw. I'll give that dun 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 dun. Demonio! Congratulations, Demonio. You have won. Well, you're gonna get to figure out about mixing those colors. So,
Send us a message.
yes, just send us a message.
Email.
Or email us at info@dailycreations.com or .ca. Go or visit dailycreations.com or .ca. Contact us somehow. Let us know, and we will work on getting that to you. So congratulations, and let us know if you, everyone, if you would like to see CosClay for Cosplay Part 2 at some point in the next couple weeks. And I would love to see if you get your hands on some CosClay, either from us or another source, and start playing around with it and doing stuff. I would love to see your creations. You can also sign up for our newsletter online, and that'll keep you abridged of on our website, and that'll keep you abridged of our live streams and other events coming up and other things we have on the go. So thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks.